Oh my goodness gracious, Sean, we're back. Episode 62, Shot at Spit of the Morning, presented by Off Base Media, Monday, October 6th. And it's October 6th, and the best part about this whole fucking weekend so far, entering Monday, of course, this counts as the weekend low key, because Monday morning still counts as Sunday night. The only thing that we can say that is like a positive is that we started on time. Other than that, we got on the board at 8:30, and that's the best thing that's happened this week. I mean, what a dog shit week if that's the best case scenario is that we actually got on at 8:30 sharp. That's dog shit.
I have no idea what episode we're on. Episode 62. This is the first time I've said this ever doing it. I'm miserable. I'm not as miserable as you right now, but I'm pretty damn fucking close.
Well, when everyone you want to win loses, even including football, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
even including college.
It's pretty unbelievable. Every fucking where you look, at least for Pennsylvania sports.
Yeah.
I mean, for whatever you want to say, like around Philly area for Pennsylvania sports, it's been a horrible weekend. It's been one of the worst weekends we've had in a long time.
Ugly, and it bled all the way up to Canada.
Yeah,
and New York. Well, Canada's having a ball. They're drinking Tim Hortons.
Canada fucking loves it right now. They're absolutely Vladimir Guerrero. They're about to make the new prime minister of that fucking country, or whatever you want to. Is it prime minister?
They might have a.
They're weird. That's why I said it. But
they have a president and a prime minister. I don't know.
But whatever the fuck it is, Vladdy's about to be it because god damn. But we'll talk about him later.
Yeah,
let's do the first
one.
That's
because they have the home run blazer, and every time they say, they go, "Oh, he looks good in the blazer," because all he does is hit home runs. He hasn't hit a home run since early September, and now he's just doing it. Varsho too, but we'll get to the Yanks because holy hell. Let's start with something that keeps my blood pressure at bay, and that's Milwaukee at the Cubbies, or Cubbies at Milwaukee, I should say. Right? Yeah. Cubbies at Milwaukee. Milwaukee wins 9-3, so that's only one. Game 2's tonight, Sean. I think Milwaukee's doing it. I mean, they're a good team. That was their first game that Milwaukee played because they didn't have the wild card. The Cubbies did have the wild card. Obviously, that's what makes this a series. Division rivals, and they go to now play the big boys in Wisconsin. And the Milwaukee shows everybody why they're the 1 seed. They crushed it, but with the Cubbies, Boyd goes on short rest. I don't know if that's considered 3 days rest or 4 days. He pitched Tuesday in the wild card and then goes Saturday. So I think that's 3 days rest. He pitched on the 4th day. Normally, he pitch on the 5th day. I don't know. I thought I don't really give a shit what the semantics are. But he goes on short rest. He couldn't go out of the first inning. 0.2 innings pitched, 2 earned, 6 runs in the first. So there was an error involved. And we were talking about the Cubs defense. There was an error involved, and the Brewers explode for 6 runs in the first there. Freddie Prata looked good. That's your boy.
So we were talking all about this momentum and how for a team like Chicago, that's an awesome momentum thing to have. Well, guess what? Milwaukee came out and stomped on that shit. They said, no, you ain't getting any of that anymore. But Milwaukee poured it on often and early. And I mean, it's not even like Boyd went out there without a lead. Boyd went out there with a lead in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it was 1-0.
Still got his shit kicked. Matt Shaw still looks good. But this is a Chicago team that's not going to roll over and die, even if they just got their teeth kicked in. You got your ace, Imanaga. And after all of the aces we've been talking about, right, for the Brewers, they are now throwing a guy by the name of Aaron Ashby. I don't even know who the fuck that is.
I guess he might be they might use him as an opener. I have no idea. Maybe give him an inning or two.
Is he a bullpen guy?
I guess.
No idea. But anyway, the Cubs need to take advantage of him. Need to ride your ace, and this is a must-win game because if they start letting these Brewers get hot and still let those bats stay alive, they're fucked.
Yep. So they have one more in Milwaukee tonight. What did we say? Yeah, Ashby's on the bump. Bernie Brewer might be going down the slide. But, I mean, you have one more in Milwaukee. If you split the series, if you're the Cubs, you could split the series. What the fuck are you doing with your eyeballs?
Sorry. Allergies.
But if you split the series, then it's not the end of the world. Then you split the series, go to Chicago for 2. You know, like a lot of these series we figure go 5. Now, I mean, if you're the Yankees, holy hell. You'd be lucky to go 5 for the Yankees. But a lot of these series you figure would be dog fights. They go 5 games, so that would mean the Cubbies would have to split anyway and then go home for 2. So it's not the end of the world. But the big question is, I mean, do you go Boyd? And they had Colin Ray. I know Horton is banged up, so that kind of cripples you a little bit. But you had Colin Ray, and then you can kind of bulk reliever because they used Imanaga as a bulk reliever in the wild card. In the wild, Kittredge started that game. So
yeah, but Kittredge only went like 1 inning, right?
Yeah, maybe like an inning as an opener.
Yeah.
And then, but that means Imanaga got like the bulk work because he's not good first time around the order. That was the whole playing the numbers game there for Craig Counsell. But Craig Counsell, I think he looks like a jackass in this situation if you're going to roll Boyd on short rest. I don't know. And then you have, I don't know, maybe Imanaga has like that extra day. Then he pitched Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So he's on normal rest today, Imanaga at least. But I don't know. You could have had maybe Boyd with that extra day or 2. I don't fucking know what they could have did. I just think Boyd on short rest. Like Skubal didn't even go on short rest. If anyone was going to do it, it would have been Skubal.
Exactly. So that is something that you want to take note of. I'll be honest. I wasn't a firm believer in the whole short rest thing, but Boyd looked flat. He looked really fucking flat and ended up screwing them in the long haul. Like they couldn't even get him out of the first inning, right?
Yeah, he only got 2 outs.
Yeah.
So I just think he didn't go deep in the game he pitched. Who did they even play? The Padres. He didn't even go deep in that game. He went like 4 1/3, which is fine. I think that's how they've been managing. It's like Tyone went like 4. So that's fine. He pitched well, but didn't go deep, and then they've just kind of been using their bullpen, which has been showing up a little bit more than we thought, at least in the wild card round it did. So it's he's not going to go deep anyway. Why would you kind of want your ace to go deep and but in the National League, they had the day off yesterday, so the bullpen's fresh. They're just trying to win the fucking ball game. But if you're going to win a ball game, throw a guy who's not on short rest. That's how I think.
Yeah. No. I 100% understand that because is Boyd. I mean, also, this is a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of playoff experience on top of everything. So, and you're playing the best team in baseball. I get where you're coming from with that.
Matthew Boyd might have been on that Cleveland team last year, but
I mean, still, it's a recipe for fucking disaster.
That's what I think. I mean, his coming out party was this year. He was an all-star.
Yeah.
34, and this was his year that he really, went ape shit. Yeah, last year he looked all right. I don't know what he did. He started 8 games last year. This year he started 31. So, yeah, you're going to rely on him to be – and you've wrote him. I don't even know why we're still on this game for so long, but to me, that's the fucking –
yeah, that was the rest. That was kind of the – that's almost on Craig Counsell. I know, yeah, so –
fuck you, Craig. Even Fried didn't go on short rest, nor did Skubal. Those were your other game 1 big boys. Let's go to these guys. Because game 1 for the Yankees, we said it wasn't Fried. It was Luis Gil. That was Saturday. The Yankees got killed in that game. It was 10-1. Luis Gil, 2 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings pitched. Not that you needed. I mean, it would be great if he would have gave you something huge, but you're just trying to get through that game and then keep Fried, on normal rest for Sunday. We'll get to yesterday's stuff, but if we're talking about Saturday, that was Luis Gil. Didn't look spectacular. You can tip your hat to Blue Jays offense, and you can tip your hat to Gausman, I guess. Also, Yankees struggle against good pitching, but 10-1 after that game. Luke Weaver can't get outs, by the way. So Luke Weaver made an appearance in that Saturday game. Didn't get an out, gave up 3 runs. Remember, he didn't get an out in the game that they lost to the Red Sox. So he's made a couple. So he did pitch yesterday, got 1 out. But in his first 2 appearances of the postseason, no outs. So ugly stuff there. Only run in game 1 came from a bases loaded walk. No outs, bases loaded. Judge strikes out, Bellinger walks, and then whatever strikeout, whatever the fuck they did. They still strike out a lot, and then you're going against Gausman in game 1, knowing that they don't hit good pitching. Gil, okay, fine, fuck it. Blue Jays came out hot. Fucking Roger Center's popping, all that stuff. You can tip your hat there, but then you're saying to yourself, gameplay doesn't change for game 2. Now it's a rookie and Trey Savage, who we saw yesterday, versus Fried. So you're saying to yourself, you still have to split the series into. If you thought the Yankees were going to win both, clearly it would be a big ask because they lose both. But if you thought they were going to win both in Toronto, that's a big ask. That's a tall order. So I'm okay with. You lose the game 1. I know it was an ugly loss. Gausman pitched well. You could tip your hat. He's a horse. But then you have to go out in game 2 with your ace on the mound, split the series, go back to the Bronx for 2. Then you're in good shape. That did not happen, and that's what kills you.
I thought you were gonna have a little bit more there too. On
Well, I didn't
top
get
of
the
that.
game two yet. I didn't get the game two yet.
Okay, well,
I'm
I'll put
doing
my.
Yeah, put your thoughts on just the game one up because I'm doing it chronologically. Because
I'm
now
gonna
you
give.
lose game two and now everything looks worse.
So you're gonna shit on the Yankees the whole time. So I'll give the Blue Jays their flowers and talk about how seeing Vladdy in the playoffs is fucking awesome. Dude he had a good year, right? But guy hasn't hit a home run since like the beginning of September. I think you were saying before the pod. We talked about this. Some people, when these lights when these lights get the brightest, they just excel. And it seems like Vladdy might be one of those people. He's doing it out without his running mate Bo Bichette right now.
Yeah.
Gosman obviously pitched well. They're proving to be the team that their regular season wasn't a fluke, that they can do it in October. So I don't fucking like Canada, but I like the Blue Jays right now. So I'm a little torn, Spin. But yeah, Vladdy, the whole entire team, Gosman looked good. Got to give them credit where credit's due to come in, especially against the fucking Yankees. The Yankees, who, this is their American League until it's somebody else's. So I want to give them a little credit before we move on to game two.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they came out with a vengeance in game one. The Blue Jays offense did, and Kirk hit like 2 homers in that game.
Yeah.
I think Varsho hit 2 homers yesterday. They might have had like 6 or 7 homers in two games, and I think Springer has actually been quiet. So that's scary to think of. And Bichette's not even there, so I don't know. They just have a lot of contributors, I guess. Clement, fucking cocksucker Clement. I don't know, but it's not just. I don't know. It's like. It's not the end of the world when you're coming off of game one, even though the offense was incredible for Toronto and you look like hell. And you did lose some bullpen arms. You did use your fair share of relievers that game, and you didn't have a Sunday off day, so you did have back to back after Gill didn't go far for you, so that kind of hurts you in that sense. But then you're putting a lot of faith in Fried, and Fried can go deep, and you can manage your bullpen accordingly. Plus, it's all hands on deck, and you did have an off day today, so really no excuses there. But still, like, even though those things happen in game one, the game plan doesn't change. And I could be easy on myself and be easy on the Yankees if they would have won game two, which it was almost like a must-win situation in game two. Not must-win, Sean, in the sense of you lose and go home, but must-win in the sense of you lose and you're fucked, kind of. Like, you needed to win and then send 2 back to the Bronx. Split the series, which would have been beyond fair to split the series if you're the Yankees, then have 2 in the Bronx, and you probably split the series in the Bronx maybe, or at least you set yourself up to do something and then set a game 5, which I think a lot of us thought a lot of these series are going to go 5. But you don't do that, and you lose game 2, ugly, 13-7. I think at one point it was 13-2, so they kind of had a little bit of fight, but that can't be the good news. The good news is it can't be, we didn't get shut out. We had a little bit of fight. We scored 3 runs in like the 7th or whatever the fuck they did, or 5 runs in the 8th. I don't know what the fuck they did. That can't be the positive, because there's no positive. So they lose 13-7. It looks ugly. The only positive is, maybe they fought a little bit and they didn't just, and maybe the season isn't over. That can't be the only nice things to say. That's bad, but that's the good news. I don't know. They look 13-7 in game 2. Fried versus Trey Yesevich, you talked about. Yesevich pitched a fucking gem. It was his fourth start ever in the May. He had 3 starts in the regular season. He got the game 2 nod here. So we've seen a lot of young pitchers, young AL East pitchers. He's like at least the 3rd one. We saw bless you. We saw Connolly early. We saw Schlittler. Now here's another AL East young star that we might see for the years to come. He set the Blue Jays rookie debut record, like 9 strikeouts. Remember, that was like a record from a while back. Well, he's only had 3 starts in the regular season. This is his 4th ever start in the major leagues. Yankees made him look like fucking Roger Clemens. 5 1/3 scoreless. Well, Roger would have 8 more innings, but 11 strikeouts. Second youngest starting pitcher in major league postseason history with 10 plus Ks. Second youngest pitcher in the major league postseason history with 10 plus Ks. He had 11. Vlad grand slam, the first ever grand slam in the Blue Jays history. Varsho 4 hits, 2 of them homers, 4 ribbies. Fried 7 earned runs through 3 innings. Will Warren comes in, try to do a bulk roll. He looked like shit too. 4 2/3 rather, 6 earned. So everyone looks like shit. The only positive is Weaver came in and got 1 out. So that's good for you, Weaver. Now you have your ERA isn't unlimited or infinite ERA anymore. He had an infinite ERA in the postseason. Right? That's what that means. So you get now his ERA is not infinite anymore. He got one fucking out. I don't even know how many earned runs he's given up. Either way, Game 3 is in the Bronx Tuesday. Bieber versus Rodon. I mean, it's an ugly scene. I don't even know how to put it into words. I had like so much to say last night, and I mean, those are the cliff notes right there. Yankees look like shit. I mean, you said it. Tip your hat to the Blue Jays. Their offense coming out. They had the rest. And people always like, oh, how can you find momentum with rest? The Yankees were kind of coming in after losing the first one. Then it's like, okay, maybe they're coming in after that Schlittler game. Maybe they could do something. Well, I was hoping that they blew all their offense in Game 1. No, they had a shit ton more offense to show for in Game 2. Actually put up more runs against your ace. I mean, it's bad. And now you have Bieber on the road, which I guess you trust more than you Savage. We talked about this with Nola almost. Like, do you want Nola to do this? But the Blue Jays had the luxury of winning the first game, and then they could just throw you Savage and then have Bieber for Game 3 versus Rodon. And Bieber gives you Bieber on the road might be better than your Savage on the road. So they kind of played their cards right, and it worked out. Sometimes those things don't work out. Well, Schneider looks like a genius because it did. So I don't fucking know. I don't know what's good with Toronto. Seattle looks like the real deal. Maybe we're going to get some fresh blood in a championship series because last time Toronto even was there, I think was 93 when they won the World Series last. So we're getting fresh blood. And now it's like everything's gone to shit.
So I do have some questions for you. First one being Max Fried. Max Fried either looks like a Cy Young winner or like he shouldn't even be in the fucking major leagues half the time when he's pitching. Like he had that slump during the year. I think it was at the back end of the first half and the beginning of the second half where he completely took himself out of the Cy Young conversation. But then in the first round, he comes out against Boston, against Garrett Crochet, and deals. Max Fried dealt that day. Mm-hmm. I know they lost that game, right? I'm pretty sure they lost that game, but he still dealt. He looked really freaking good. The bullpen's what blew it for you guys. Where are you at with him? Because now he comes out and fucking sucks. Like, just looked absolutely horrible.
Yeah, that hurts when your ace can't do that. But he is your ace. His numbers are still good on the season despite that rough patch. So he was really good in the first half, and then he picked it up after maybe like 4 or 5. Maybe it was like a bad month of August or whatever the fuck he had. I don't even remember. But he picked it up towards the end when they needed to. And he was at ace for you. Now you kind of, if this is his last start of the season, I guess it could be. I don't know. You go into next year and you say he's not. I mean, Cole would be your ace, and then there's Fried, so it kind of makes everything look deeper.
1-2.
Yeah, it's a good 1-2. But you want to believe in Fried. He's won before like you want him in these situations. The fact that he couldn't get it done, it stings. Absolutely.
The past couple of years, Max Fried's ERA, and I mean he's gotten shelled in the postseason before. I know that because when he was on the Braves, the Phillies used to get to him pretty good. So I don't know if he just kind of shrinks. And I thought that him being what he did in the wild card series, he was like, oh, he's back now. Like he doesn't have these like jitters or anything like that. But I mean, in the postseason, his postseason ERA isn't all that great on top of that. But another question I had, this kind of rolls into it. So at the deadline, we were kind of excited. We thought they brought in some good pieces in that bullpen. We thought they added, I mean, you wanted more than just Ryan McMahon and you wanted more than whatever you got kind of thing. You always want more at the trade deadline. But then also like the lineup you roll out yesterday where you have like Grisham's your leadoff hitter. Do you think Cashman has any of the blame to this, or do you think he's still doing his job or anything like that?
They did their job as a front office in the offseason and in the trade deadline. Grisham's having a career year, and he has been the leadoff guy. He didn't lead off in Game 1 of the Red Sox series, and I was kind of weirded out by it because they try to play those matchups, lefty bullshit with Crochet. And I'm thinking to myself, like, him leading off is actually what got you this far. Like, he was a big part of that. They struggled to actually have a leadoff man in the past. So Trent kind of answered the call this year. Last year, this time it was Glaber. So, I mean, I'm not mad at that, but Glaber, yeah. Now he's leading off in Detroit.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Back-to-back pennants for him, I guess. No. But they look pretty decent.
They do.
But yes, I'm not mad at Trent there. The front office, though, did do their job in the offseason. not putting all their money or not putting all their eggs in the Soto contract and kind of dispersing it and probably getting deeper on paper. Realistically, Bellinger had a really good season.
Yeah, he did.
And Trent kind of comes out of the woodworks, and fucking Rice, was good. So there's some homegrown guys too that kind of panned out with Ben Rice and some other motherfuckers. But you get the point. Like, they also did their job at the deadline. They brought in relievers, but the relievers are stinking ass. So the fact that the relievers they did their job, which could hurt Boone, and they're going to say, hey, we brought in a lot of these guys. It was a very talented team. But like Devin Williams was part of the offseason, dispersing that money and trying to bring in guys. Like Devin Williams was part of that via a trade. And it's like, okay, the front office can say to themselves, we did all these things. Even at the deadline, they brought in options for third base. They brought in relieving depth. And it's like, okay, what the fuck, Boone? Because it kind of falls on Boone. But what kind of helps Boone is the fact that he could be making the right calls out of the pen, but they don't do him any fucking favors.
No, they don't.
So like that's what helps Boone's case. What hurts Boone is the fact that the front office is going to say, no, we had a fine offseason. We had a good little deadline, and we touched on whenever we needed. And what the fuck, Aaron? Like we put a really good team around you, and Aaron knows it. Aaron knows it's a talented group. It's arguably the most talented team on paper that they've had in a long time. And Aaron knows it, and that's what's going to hurt his case if he does I don't know if he gets fired. I would say fire him, but everyone's going to say fire him. It's all about what House fucking cocksuck Steinbrenner wants to do. But either way, that's what's going to hurt Boone. What helps Boone is the fact that they don't produce. I don't know. Excuse me. I am team fire Boone, though.
So you're officially on that trend now.
I think you have to.
Because you were back and forth a little bit, but I mean, I think the Yankees,
back and forth on these
the Yankees as a whole, like you have to almost you have to, if you're not there, if you weren't there after game one, because you're like, oh, we still have life. Yeah, we got our asses handed to us, whatever. But after game one, you're like, we still have life in this series. We have our ace going on game two. Like we should be able to get there. And then you get your fucking shit kicked in again in game two. I mean, what, 13-7? Yeah, you got your shit kicked in. And then I think Yankees fans are now probably fully on, yeah, Boone has to go.
Yeah, and I don't know if he will. That's the thing. I don't know, because there's ways to go. I think the front office, because this has been a discussion before. He's like the Sirianni of baseball.
They've been talking about firing Boone since he got fucking hired.
Yeah, at least Sirianni won though. But how it is in those markets, and then you have expectations, and even though you go to the playoffs, they still want you out. Like at least Sirianni actually won it last year, so maybe those conversations have diminished. Where Boone hasn't. They looked ugly in the World Series last year, so you're still kind of on those things. I think with Booney, you can go back and forth on it, and if the front office has if they've talked about these things at all, if they've entertained the thought, which maybe they have because this conversation has circulated in the past a few times. It seems like after every season. If actually the thing going to the World Series last year might have saved his job.
Yeah,
and they didn't.
That's what we talked about. We talked about that. We didn't have the podcast or anything, but I was posing the question to you because Boone was doing some suspect shit last year too, on top of everything, and then he made it to the World Series, and I was like, well, now you guys keep him, but I know you wanted to keep him because of the World Series and everything like that, but last year I was even on we should probably I think they still should fire him.
Yeah, I don't even know what I was on. Maybe I don't even know what I thought. Because there is a give and a take. Maybe I was just I didn't know what I thought, but it made sense you could justify. I don't fucking even know. I don't remember. Maybe I was on him. Maybe I don't know. They didn't look good. I was all pissed. Mm-hmm. It was like a turn a game off early type of game, But there is a give and a take. So if the front office is entertained at all, which they probably have, or they've had to have these conversations with each other. If that has happened, I can see them kind of saying maybe okay, sure. Maybe not like I'm talking about in years past. Maybe even now. Maybe they're entertaining these thoughts, and then they talk themselves out of it. It feels like because you can talk yourself out of it. To me, if it's a yes or no, then it's yes. Because if yes is getting brought up at all in this conversation, then the answer is just yes, plain and simple. So you have to give him props, and I think you can say no because I don't think he's as bad of a manager as people make him out to be. I'm not saying he's fucking great, but I don't think he's. I mean, Yankee Twitter, Yankee fans, the media. they crucify him. They make him seem like the fucking devil. I don't think he's that. I don't think he's great, but I don't think he's that bad. So I'll get to give him a little bit of credit there because maybe that's opinionated. I don't love him, but I don't think he's as bad as maybe you might hear people on Twitter make him out to be. They like to go crazy. But, like, if that's the case, maybe that's an opinionated take. But the fact of the matter is they haven't had a losing season since 92, so they do have over 500 seasons with him there. They do generally go to the playoffs and some kind of go deep at times in a good division. They always are in the at the top of a good division and going to the playoffs. Like, I know this isn't good enough, but that's what he has going for him. Like, it's not like he's had a losing season. They've navigated to the playoffs. They have last year's pennant. I'll get back to that in a second. They have, all these things. I think the players, like, as much as he gets shit for, he kind of handles himself well. If anything, the biggest qualm people have is that he doesn't go a little bit more nuts. He's not as harsh. He never outs his guys, and it seems like players like to play for him. So you have to give him props for those things. But the fact of the matter is the organization does need to change right now. And the manager gets the shit into the stick. That's just how it goes. Hal's not going to fire himself, and he's not going to fire Aaron Judge. So what's the change? Oh, it's fucking the manager. Every time it's the manager. We always talk about this. So there needs to be a change right now. So that's why Boone has to go. In my opinion, I'm over it. And I talked about the pennant last year. Like, the Yankees are not measured on over 500 seasons and just going to the playoffs, right? Like, you're measured on winning a World Series. You haven't done it since 2009. That's not good. And if they do get bumped, they could get bumped tomorrow. If they get swept or whatever it goes, like, they have to win out. No, like, you have to. And who knows? Maybe they do, and this narrative changes. But that's a big fucking ass. You put yourself in a hole. So to me, it's like you look at the pennant when they got bumped from the playoffs last. It was 2022. They didn't go in 23, and then last year they got bumped in the World Series. If they get bumped and if they get swept, that's like they're one in. It's a 5-game World Series. They got swept in 2022 out of Houston. That's 9, 10, 11, 12 if they get swept here, which they're on the verge of doing. That's 1 in 12 record the last 3 times they get bumped. And I'm saying this year that maybe that's not fair to do. But if they do get swept, that'd be 1 in 12 in record in the last 3 games that you got bumped out of the playoffs. So when they're getting bumped from the playoffs, yes, they can go on deep runs. ALCSs win a pennant last year. They got over the hump and they got there. But they didn't look good when they were there. Yes, you can go on some deep runs, but when you're getting eliminated, you're getting eliminated in embarrassing fashion. You're getting eliminated to division rivals because in the past it's been the Red Sox that's given them trouble. Maybe one year it was the Rays. Maybe I'm making that up, but generally it's been the Red Sox in the past or the Houston Astros in the championship round. They've been getting eliminated by those teams. Now add Blue Jays to the list of division rivals that have given it trouble in the playoffs now. And it's division rivals, and it's Houston, and last year it was the Dodgers. These are big bad teams at the time. And you're getting embarrassed when you're going toe to toe with these big bad teams. I mean, what the fuck? That doesn't look good. And I know the front office is going to say, "Oh, Booney, Booney might say, hey, like, I don't know, he wouldn't say this, but he wouldn't out his guys. But one thing that helps his cause is like I said, maybe he's making the right calls. The bullpen's not doing him any fucking favors, but I think the front office will have the last laugh, and they say, we brought all these guys in. What the fuck? You got to win. You got to at least compete in the fucking playoffs. But I mean, Weaver hasn't. He was been your saving grace last year. Last year he was Dream Weaver. This year he was Nightmare Weaver. I think I said that last week. Love that nickname for him because he's been a fucking nightmare, and not in a John Gruden way. He's been a nightmare in like a fucking Friday the 13th type of way. Devin Williams didn't panic, so that actually helps Boone's case. Low key is that the bullpen stinks because maybe he's making the right calls, but it's ugly. You're not you're judged on winning World Series. You have to win, and when I listen. This is the last thing I'll say about Booney is like I'm an advocate for letting guys rock. Like I don't like the turnaround in these managers or even in the NFL. You see it a lot. There's turnaround time. It's like, how can you build culture, have any structure if you're just going to change coaches or managers every few years? Like, I like the idea of riding with somebody and kind of building around that guy. But this isn't like a 2-year experiment with Boone. He's one of the longest tenure managers in the show. And listen, Rocco Baldelli just got fired from Minnesota. We talked about that last week. He was like 7 years and an over 500 record as a manager for the Twins. I think Boone and Rocco are very similar.
And manager of the years.
Yeah, and Boone doesn't even have one of those. Yeah. So Rocco, had the manager of the year, like 2019, and a few playoff bursts, a few division titles, over 500 records, 7 years there, but they're going a different way. No one thinks he's a bad manager, but they're going a different way. now it's time for the Yankees to do that. And they still have at least one more game this year, so I can't be totally out on these guys, but boy, do they look ugly.
So the one thing when you're playing in New York, we already know this. Everyone knows this. Everything else is going to be amplified. So Boone knows that. All of the players know that. Boone is now 25-27 in the postseason with the Yankees, losing record. Could move if they get swept out 25-28, which looks a lot worse. But I will say the only thing that you guys have going for you is you have Rodon still. He is going to be pitching at home in the Bronx. And then you're getting Schlittler, who just put on a historical performance in the wild card round as well. I don't know if he's going to repeat it, what's going to happen, but maybe he's your saving grace and looks unbelievable again. But you have a little bit of life still, a very, very small. You're on life support, but you got a little bit of life left. And I kind of want to circle back to this now. Judge is getting called out a lot, dude. He's getting called out a lot, that his hits are coming when it doesn't matter. He's missing in his big spots. And I wanted to say this. I want to kind of defend him in a sense. I think that's a little bit unfair because even though Cody Bellinger had a great year, guess what? They do not want to fucking throw to Cody Bellinger either. You know what I mean? So, I mean, they don't want to throw to Aaron Judge. They'd rather throw to Cody Bellinger. So they are probably pitching around Judge. And, I mean, we saw this on we were watching, I think it was FS1, and A-Rod was talking about it a little bit. Judge just seems like he isn't letting the game come to him. Like he's off balance. He's trying to do too much almost. Do you think he's hearing a little bit of chatter, a little bit of negativity, and now he's jumping a little bit out of his shoes like, hey, I have to make something happen? Like, what do you think's going on?
Yeah, I'm not really worried about Judge. I know he's not hitting home runs, and I know he did have that. There's in game 1 of the Blue Jay series, there was like that bases loaded, no outs. He struck out and Bellinger
Horrible at bat.
Yeah. So I could see that he actually swung at ball 4. Yesterday he was 2 for 3 with a ribby, couple runs, 2 walks also. So not bad. Like I think I did see a stat. He's tied for the lead for the postseason in hits. I think.
There you go. Yeah.
So he's getting knocks. Like to me, yes, there's been some ribby opportunities that he has not taken advantage of, and that does sting because you need him to be your big ribby producer. And it's good that these guys at the bottom of the order, like Volpe's fine, and even Wells might be finding himself on base at times at the bottom of the order. So to turn the lineup around for Judge at the 2-hole, it holds a lot of weight for him to come through. Like we all know that. So it's good on the bottom of the order a little bit, but what the fuck matters if the top can't take advantage of that or just pass the baton. But my thing with Judge, and I kind of said this even after like maybe before game 2, maybe after game 1 or whatever the fuck it was, and definitely after the Red Sox series because he had a lot of singles in that. His first extra base hit actually came in game 1 of the Blue Jays series. It was a double. So he's getting knocks. He's kind of hitting the ball hard and getting singles. So to me, he's been like a table setter, but he hasn't really been like a table clearer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Yeah. What you almost expect him to be.
Yeah. So that's what kind of hurts, right? So if he can't, and it actually might come on. You hate to shit on Stanton because he's been like a glorious king, and he had 2 ribbies yesterday too. 2 for 5, Stanton. So it's not, you don't want to shit on him, but no one's hitting home runs. Actually, Cody got into one yesterday. But between Bellinger, Rice, Stanton, if Judge he's been a table setter. Okay, he's been getting singles, and he's been a kind of like remember back in the day Jeter was batting 2 for the Yankees, and he's kind of just getting knocks. Like that's how Judge is right now. Not that it's a bad thing. It's not Aaron Judge like, so maybe he takes a little heat for that. It's not Aaron Judge like, but it's a 2-hole hitter that's getting knocks and hitting the ball hard. And I can't shit on him for that. If he's finding his way on base, you can't shit on a guy for getting hits. But you gotta, if someone has to be a big ribby guy and you want it to be Judge. So yes, he does have to come up. There's no excuse for that. He has to come up big in these ribby opportunities. He can't strike out with the bases loaded like that and trying to do too much because I do think that's the case, a little bit of it. But he's getting knocks. Last postseason, I don't think you could have said that. This postseason, yes, he's getting knocks, and he's in the 2-hole this postseason. Last year it was the 3-hole, I think. It was in the 3-hole because Soto, I think, hit 2. Or did Soto hit 3? Judge hit?
Soto was batting before.
Okay, so yeah, so now he's the kind of the guy that has the protection behind him. Maybe you got to come to him a little bit, and I just think it maybe Bellinger actually might they could pitch around Bellinger because maybe they're not scared of Ben Rice. I don't really know what it is. I'm not scared of Ben Rice. I don't think Ben Rice should be batting behind Bellinger. I think Stanton should be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's another Boone thing that you can call him out on. That people are they don't have it, because this was my problem with the Phillies in the past, was they didn't have enough protection around some of these other guys to get so they could see pitches in the past postseasons. And then when you play against smart teams and smart managers like Schneider, they're gonna pitch around people, and they're gonna try to have them get themselves
Yeah,
out. Or holding Aaron Judge to singles is a win for
it
the Blue
is.
Jays.
It
It's a
is.
win. It's a
Yeah.
win, and he has to take his walks where he can get them. He has to, put pressure on them. And granted, you are doing that with singles, but when you are the guy, right? You're the guy, you're the captain of the New York fucking Yankees, there's more expected from you.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he's like his. I don't even think his like postseason numbers are like dog shit this year. Like I'd have to let's see him.
No, they're decent.
Like
They are decent, but the power's not
yeah,
there, is what I'm saying.
yeah. So like keeping him, like you said, keeping him in the ballpark at all is a win. He's hit 444 this postseason, 18 at bats, 2 ribbies though. But his OPS is over 1,000. Like, yeah, I mean, there's like things there, but yeah, keeping him in the ballpark's a win. When the Yankees are at their best, like Grisham had 3 strikeouts yesterday and 5 at bats. Like he's a leadoff guy, he's gonna get 5 at bats, 3 Ks. I don't like that. Judge only had 1 K. That's not bad. Being Volpe at the bottom of the order, 0 for 4, 3 Ks. What the fuck, Anthony? And he actually was all right leading up to that game. Chisholm's been quiet. Ben Rice is, after that home run that he hit in his first at bat of the postseason, he's been quiet and striking out a lot. He had 2 more strikeouts yesterday. When the Yankees are at their best, Grisham contribute. Rice be a big, because Grisham and Rice were huge hitters for them. Grisham had 30-plus home runs this year. He needs to do something. It's shit like that. It's like, yes, it's everybody. So for me to just, maybe people on Twitter will bash Judge, or if you're not a Yankee fan, maybe if you are a Yankee fan, you're still, I can't shit on Judge right now. I'd love for him to come up big and ribby opportunities, because he has been getting them. That's true. I would like that. But the fact of the matter is, Grisham, he should be out of the leadoff spot at this point. I don't know what you would do. Change it. You have to maybe shake something up for game 3, or maybe don't. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, but I don't know if I like Grisham leading off anymore. He's having a miserable postseason, miserable. Mid of the order is fine, but everyone's not hitting home runs, so that's what sucks. If Judge was kind of doing what he's doing, and maybe Stanton was maybe having an incredible postseason instead of hitting 150 right now, or if Chisholm, who's hitting 188 right now, and was doing a little bit more, then it kind of, yes, like. It's tough for Judge. Judge has a tough gig. There's a lot of weight of the world on his shoulders, and even if there's guys in the lineup that are, Judge is having the best postseason offensively. Probably out of anyone on the team, he's having the best postseason. I'm bringing pitchers and bullpen guys. I'm bringing everyone in the mix. He's the best. he's the best Yankee right now. So it's tough. You need the whole lineup to do something. But yes, Judge is going to eat it. Judge is going to eat it, which sucks. He might have made an error yesterday too.
When you're the guy, you're going to feel it, especially in New York.
And it sucks. You want more ribbies from him, but like, yeah, what do you want? He's hitting 444 this postseason. No one else is even hitting 300. The next best is 273 from Ryan McMahon.
Yeah.
So it's like, or I guess Goldschmidt doesn't have a lot of at bats, but 571. But it's like, what do you want? Judge is going to eat it. Judge is going to eat it. Judge is going to wear it. And I don't know if it's not fair, but
ain't about being fair when it's the playoffs, man.
And that's yeah. And you know what? I'll just say one more thing on Boone, because I thought of it, and then we got to move on. Booty, like, to me, at best, he's an ALCS. He can get you to an ALCS. Last year, they lose in the World Series. This year, they might lose in the Division Series. Okay, fuck it. Generally speaking, he goes to the championship round. That's not good enough for New York. That's all I'll say. That's not good enough for New York. And this is certainly not good enough for New York. Plus, I think I did a top 10 managers in the AL. Boone wasn't fucking on it. This is the Yankees, man. This is the Yankees.
Yeah.
You got to have. There's 15 fucking teams. Now maybe he sneaks in, and I was being harsh. I don't fucking know though. Out of all the 6 teams that made the playoffs on the AL side, I think he's the worst manager out of all.
He is the worst manager out of all of them.
And that's harsh. See, that's what I mean. Like he gets a lot of shit into the stick too from these types of conversations. And maybe we're right. Maybe he's not that bad because he got you. Like maybe he's not that bad, but maybe he is. Like I don't know. That's why it's a weird situation.
It's another thing of like, because I'll get into it with Rob Thompson when we talk about the Phillies next. But like, it's another thing where Boone's a good manager to have when things are going well, and a horrible manager to have when things are going wrong.
And it's always it's the Yankees too. It's tough. You're judged differently in New York. I mean, I look like a Rocco Baldelli and Boone are similar to me. I already made that case. Like, and Rocco just got fired, but over 500, record as a manager, 7 seasons. Like he was one of the longer tenured guys. With if Booney wasn't like Minnesota, I think we look at him differently. You know what I mean? But you're judged on, and you're just like again, you're getting bumped from the playoffs in ugly ways. That's what kills you. That's what kills you. All right. Dodgers at Phillies. Dodgers 2 runs in the 6th, 3 runs in the 7th to last the Phillies 5-3. Sanchez versus Ohtani game. The Phillies were up 3-0 again until the 6th. It was 3-2. They had a lead. Strom comes in. Homer Teoscar 3-run shot. That was the difference of the game. Quality start from Ohtani though. It was Ohtani's first postseason start as on the mound. That is quality start. Gave up 3 earned runs in the 2nd inning. Phillies didn't score for the rest of the game. That was it and Ohtani pitched really good. Dodgers bullpen was good. I think we saw Glasnow and Sasaki out of the pen, as well as Vesia. Game 2 tonight, Sean, couple of lefties, Snell and Luzardo.
All right, where do you want me to start, Spin?
Chronologically.
All right.
Or alphabetically.
So, alphabetically. All right.
Alvarado, and then
But all right, so I guess I'll start with this. The first and foremost, what everybody knows is you cannot fucking lose that game. You cannot lose that You were up 3-0 and you waste a fantastic start from Christopher Sanchez. Yes, he gave up 2. Kike Hernandez is a fucking October merchant who only comes alive in October, apparently, nowadays. He could suck the regular season. I'd still be scared of him once it becomes 10-1 on the calendar, because god damn it, he's just that guy. Whatever. That's beside the point. I have a problem with Rob Thompson before the game saying that Ranger Suarez is available to come out of the pen. Okay, that's a good thing. For me, I'm like, wow, that good call, Rob. I like that. We're in a win now mode. This is where we're at. Christopher Sanchez goes out and gives you 6 2/3, I want to say. Yep. A very, very good
pitching. Was it 5 2/3 or 6 2/3? 5 2/3.
5 2/3. Very good baseball. Very good pitching. Looked nasty. His stuff. I don't mind them taking him out. Honestly, you could have let him go face one more batter. You could have went with Robertson in the when you did. I don't mind that decision.
Yeah.
What I do mind is you sending Robertson back out there in the 6th for him to walk 2 guys. And then you're like, okay, well, we need to bring in a lefty. Ranger Suarez is available, right? Right, Rob? Ranger Suarez is fucking available, right, Rob? And they go to Matt Stromboli, who Matt Strom in the past has looked fucking good, but this season he's been up and down, wishy-washy, all over the place kind of thing. And guess what's happened in our past in the postseason with our bullpen? They give up fucking runs. Go to Ranger, win now. Look at the opposite side, Spin. Look at Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts said we're going to get, I guess they got 6 strong from Shohei. But then guess what? We're not going to bring in our bullpen. Well, actually, we're going to bring in one of our bullpen guys. Our strongest bullpen guy. And then we're going to go to our starter, Tyler Glass, now to go get us some outs as well. And then even in the 9th inning, we're going to go to Roki Sasaki to make it happen as well. What the fuck are we doing? Dave Roberts out-coached Rob Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
It's flat out, plain and simple, out-coached Rob Thompson. He said, we're gonna go into Philly game 1. We're going to do anything it takes to steal this. And that's what they did. They fucking stole it. They got a clutch home run from Teoscar Hernandez, who apparently Matt Strom is tipping pitches. This has been a topic of discussion all fucking year long because all of our pitchers out of the pen, even Luzardo too at one point, was tipping pitches. Pages signals to Teoscar. He knows a fastball's coming. Guess what? He dicks on it. There are so many things I want to say in my mind, so like all over the place, because there's like Rob Thompson. If we get swept out of this, gone. I want him fucking gone. I'm so sick and tired of seeing his little fucking face in the dugout. He makes horse shit decisions every single time. that he doesn't know how to manage a bullpen to save his life. The Ranger thing pissed me off so unbelievably much that we say he's available and then he doesn't throw. Game 1 wasn't a must win for us, but now I'm looking back on it like when you're up 3-0 against one of the best teams in baseball, it becomes a must win at this point, right? To me, you have to come out of that with a fucking win. Oh, and guess what? The top 3 hitters on
Yep.
the Dodgers didn't even get a fucking hit, and we still lost.
Well, how about the top 3 hitters in Philly?
Hold on, that's another talking point for me.
Yep.
So I guess since I went to the top 3 hitters on the Dodgers, I'll talk about the top 3 hitters on our side of things. Turner, Schwarber, Harper. Every single last one of them looked absolutely lost up at the plate.
1 for 11.
And to be fair, with Schwarber and Harper, guess what? They were facing a righty 95% of the time. Dave Roberts didn't give a shit about the matchups. He said, I'm going to my best guys and go ahead and fucking hit them. That's just, and so then you get Harper, who we talked about. I brought this up with Judge. When you are the guy, more is expected out of you. So when you go 1 for 4 with a little rinky dink fucking ground ball through the infield as your only base hit, yeah, I got a problem, Bryce Harper. And I still believe in Bryce. I still think he can come out in this series and do something, but he is going to feel heat. He's going to get negativity spin when he just doesn't, he looks lost. He's staring at pitches right down the middle. He's missing hanging fucking curveballs that Shohei Ohtani's leaving. His last at bat against Shohei threw him a fucking fastball right down the middle, and Harper just stared at it. Didn't miss it, just stared at it. What are we doing? You know the one pitch that you can hit, the one pitch you can have success off against Shohei Ohtani is his fastball. Yeah, it's fast, but guess what? You ain't gonna hit anything fucking else. His curveball, disgusting. His splitter, disgusting. Like you need to hit the fastball. And then don't even get me started on Schwarber, because at least Harper in the past has had, a little bit of playoff success. Like even in that Mets series last year, Harper looked decent. Harper had, I wouldn't say a good batting average. He had some ribbies last year. Schwarber looked lost in the postseason last year, and it looks like he's picking up right where he left off, because I've never seen worse at bats from Schwarber than what just happened on Saturday night in Philly. It was pathetic. He's once again missing hanging curveball, staring at pitches right down the middle. What the fuck are we doing? I mean, seriously, you guys are getting paid. Schwarber's going to get an insane contract this offseason, but then you get to Bryce Harper and Trey Turner, who we are paying so much goddamn money to. And this is what they do when you come out when it matters most. When you come out and you have a 3-0 lead and you guys can't capitalize, get any more insurance runs anywhere, not make anything happen. I'm so just angry, and I'm so defeated. That knocked the wind right out of me. That loss.
Well, you got to bring the energy tonight though for game 2, because it's they changed the whole narrative with tonight. Now if they lose tonight, then it's really bad.
It is really bad, but I'm still what happened to us last year with the Mets, and then you come into what just happened game 1 with the Phillies Dodgers. You have to understand where this fan base is coming from. And we're like, okay, we've seen this before. We saw this last year. And if I'm going to get up, I'm going to have energy for my guy Luzardo. He plays with a lot of emotion. I think he's going to thrive tonight in that atmosphere. I have the lineup. I'm worried. I'm worried about the top half of the lineup.
Yeah, lefty too is Snell. I think a few things from your points. 1, 3 runs in the second inning is not enough against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So yes, it comes back to the lineup. But I'm not to shit on the fact that the Dodgers came back. I mean, the Dodgers, that's what they're going to do. The Dodgers are going to linger. If you thought 3 runs in the second inning and then a lot of zeros on this fucking thing. Lot of zeros on this box score thing. That's not good. You get three runs in the second, 1 good inning, maybe 1 big hit, and it was Trey. The other, that was a 2 ribby things from Trey, I think it was.
It was JT.
Oh, that's what I mean, JT. Yeah, JT. And then other than that, it was a Harrison Bader, who I guess is banged up. Harrison Bader sack fly.
Yeah.
That's like so it's a productive out. But again, like that's an out right there. Then after that, Shohei bared down and had a quality start. So those 3 runs, you got to insurance runs matter. And yes, it comes down to Shohei settling in. It comes down to the offense, especially the top of the order, has to get something going. And it comes down to keeping the lead, of course, whatever. But I don't think 3 runs against this Dodgers team. You got to have insurance runs.
That's 6 strikeouts, 0 for 11 in the top 3 guys. I get Trey Turner hasn't played in a month, but fuck, man. He's actually the only one who got on base.
Harper got a knock. But that's
one for
11 5Ks and a walk between those guys. And if we want to throw Bowman there, he was 0 for also. 2 walks 0 for Alec. But yeah, that's the thing. You got to get something going, and that's what sucks there. Strom, tipping his pitches. That's not good. I would just had Strom's fucking thing up. He's probably the most. I don't know if he's the most reliable bullpen piece out of that pen. 62 and a third innings pitched this year, 2.74 in 66 games. So I don't know. At least he knows how to pitch out of the pen. It could be a comfort thing. I do agree with you. I don't think Robertson should have started that inning, but to go with Strom over Ranger, yes, it's kind of a mind fuck because maybe Ranger's just is your starter, so relievers are failed starters. So you want to go with the guy who's like maybe a slow heartbeat better at that. But there's something to be said about a starter kind of going out of that role. But I think Rangers done it before, so that's why it's kind of again a mind fuck. But I think Strom has done those situations. You want to trust him. If he gets if he does his job, we're not talking about it. I think right. Like what if Ranger comes in and then what if Ranger gave up a home run? Like, are we saying go to Strom? So like I don't know if that's like a whole thing. But again, I don't know. I just think it would be a tall fucking order to hold on to that 3-0 lead and not even chip away or put pressure or anything. You got to tip your hat to the Dodgers in a sense, and it's not the end of the world if they win today. If they lose today, it's hell because then you go to the Chavez Ravine and you're down 2-0. So you have to win. The game plan doesn't change. If you thought you were going to win both games against the Dodgers at home, that maybe is crazy. That's maybe a little crazy. So this isn't, this is the defending champs. They're going to linger. They're going to fucking have these late game comebacks. They are going to hit home runs. That was the difference of this game. And, I agree that David Robertson shouldn't have came out, but you have to split the series. You have to win tonight. It's almost the similar way that the Yankees were at after game 1. Like it kind of makes game 2 a must-win situation in a sense because if you lose, now you're really fucked and you're actually on the road. After the Yankees lost game 1 and the Phillies lost game 1, I remember saying to you, I actually think the Yankees are in a better spot because they could split the series and then go home, where the Phillies would split the series and then go on the road. But the Yankees obviously don't. They lose game 2, so that just fucks everything up. The Phillies still have the opportunity to split, which would be good for them. Go on the road. This is probably going to go 5 games, so you have to split at home. You probably split on the road, and then you're back to the bank for game 5. This is going to be a dogfight. This is not going to be an easy one, and you see why. Because the Dodgers are going to linger. Did you have to? Did you have to? Did you have to let it linger? So they're going to do that. But I agree. Rangers got to have an all-hands-on-deck approach. So if Rangers available, he's available. But if he gives up that home run, then we're saying bring Strom. He's the career reliever. Maybe he knows these situations better. I don't fucking know what the narrative would be. But the Robertson shouldn't have started, and you certainly cannot go 3 runs in the second inning, 1 good inning, and one of the runs came up from a productive out. You can't do that and then expect to beat this Dodgers team. You have to continue to chip away, score early, which they did, but they did not do a good job of scoring often, and that's part of the problem there. It doesn't help when Trey, Schwarber, Harper look like a bunch of children.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't help the fact that they looked bad.
I would if the Phillies would have held on. So the Dodgers might have stole this win. Not to cut you off, but the Dodgers might have stole this because they had a late game comeback. If the Phillies were to hold on 3-0 or 3-2, they would have stole the win.
Yeah, they would have stole.
So
yeah,
that's how this is going to be. It's going to be who steals the win, who makes the comeback, or who can hold on. And I don't see teams holding on. I think we don't like bullpen pieces. And yeah, Dave, this is Dave Roberts over here. This is no joke.
It is funny because beforehand we were like, I was basically like, this is going to be a series of who gets to the bullpen first. Well, guess what? The Dodgers bullpen was Tyler Glasnow and Roki Sasaki. And I forget the other guy's name, but he's been pretty solid for him their whole entire year, like their lefty specialist or whatever you want to call it. Castellanos comes in too. swings at some of the most dog shit pitches I've ever seen in my entire life. He's gone next. There's no way they can bring him back to Philly. He might be wearing a Phillies jersey to start the season next year, but the trade speculations are going to be insane. We get to. So I'll talk a little bit about tonight, I guess. I got out everything with the game one stuff. I mean, not really. It's still going to linger in me for a while now, but until tonight, until probably the first pitch tonight. Game two tonight is huge, and I need my Hall of Fame caliber players that are at the top of the lineup to be Hall of Fame caliber players. I need Bryce Harper to be Bryce Harper. I need Kyle Schwarber to be the Kyle Schwarber that just hit 50-some home runs. I need Trey Turner to be the guy that we signed him and brought him here for. The almost hits leader, the batting champion. I need him. I don't care if he hasn't played in a month. I need them to do, and I don't know, do you think they change up the lineup?
I don't think maybe they just wouldn't have Schwarber and Harper back to back.
Do you think they move Bohm to the 3-hole and Harper 2, Schwarber 4?
Yeah, that's what I think.
And just so that you get that righty-lefty. And now we got to remember, tonight we're probably not going to see Brandon Marsh. Castellanos will probably get the nod.
Yeah, but is Bader okay to go?
Yeah. They said Bader's okay. It is going to be a little touch and go because his defense is.
So Kepler plays over Marsh?
No, they'll probably go Castellanos, Bader, and honestly, here's another point. If Weston Wilson is in this goddamn lineup tonight, I'm going to lose my shit. You're right. Marsh should be playing tonight. But if Weston fucking Wilson is playing tonight, I'm going to lose it. Lose it.
These playoffs as a whole, and we saw it with the Phils, it's almost like you're like a little league coach when someone's mom is up your ass and you just want to, oh man, everyone's gonna play this game. That's how the playoffs are like. And I understand Bader might have got a little bit banged up, so then you pinch hit and then Castellanos comes in, but then you have like Weston Wilson comes in to play left, and then Sosa. I mean, I'm not mad with all these pinch hits and you trying to do this and that, but it's like I understand the playoffs are a different animal, but is it that? Is it like that? Is like you used everybody. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying like you won 90-something games in the regular season. I know the players are a different animal, but is there something to be said of just fucking doing what you fucking do? It's like everyone has to play in the playoffs. I don't fucking know.
Sosa pinch hit is iffy with me because listen, I get Brandon Marsh is bad against lefties. I understand it. But Marsh was also one of 3 people at the time that had a hit all game. So do you ride with your guy? I can't make that call because you can argue like Sosa's also had a good year, especially with runners in scoring position. He's been extremely clutch for us. So maybe that's the right call. But I'll tell you what, from Edmundo Sosa, that wasn't the right swing. He was looking to send that ball out of the park. We just need a fucking single. We're down 2 runs. We just need a single. Like you're doing too much at that point. And then Brandon Marsh doesn't get another at bat. It rolls around. Sosa doesn't. I think who got the
that only got 1 at bat. So
he only got 1 at bat. Maybe I was talking about Cassidy. I don't know, but
Cassidy got 2 and made the least of both of them.
Yeah, Cassidy grounded into a double play and then looked like an asshole in his first at bat too. Swinging at the same exact pitch that he took the first pitch. I don't know. Tonight they need to show life. If they don't show, but listen, last year in the Mets series in Game 2, they showed life too, and then went to went to Shitty Field and got their shit kicked in. So I don't know, man. I need it's hard because we're facing an uphill battle against one of the better teams on paper, and we're also facing a Blake Snell who just threw 7 scoreless against us the last time we faced them.
Yeah, no, Tani looked good last time he faced you too. But the good news is you have seen these guys not that long ago, so it didn't matter with Ohtani. He shut you down both times.
Yeah.
But at least you were able to tack on. So that's like one positive is you were able to score early. You have to do that again, but you got to score early and often because you can't let these guys back in the game. You tacked on early. You got the momentum going, and after a certain point, like maybe after like around the 5th or 6th inning, there was an energy change, and then the Dodgers were able to make it close. And then as soon as the Dodgers took the lead, I mean, that stadium was dead. You cannot have that. You can't let the Dodgers come in and suck the life out of you, not at home, not anywhere really in the postseason. The Phillies are 0-8 all time in the playoffs when they lose game one. So trying to rewrite history tonight. Well, just in general, but starts with tonight. And not over by any means. There could be a lot of series left, or it could be in a little series left that they really can't get their shit. But to me, at least it was a close game, right? Like I look at the Yankees and how they're losing miserable, and they lose miserable back-to-back times. The Phillies, it's a tough one. Dodgers steal it from you. That the difference is a Teoscar home run. But they don't act like the Phillies don't have dudes that can, be the difference maker. I don't love the whole. They still seem like Harper or Schwarber. They feel like they have to do too much at times. At least from like my perspective, is they feel like they have to go yard, and that's gonna spark. That's gonna get the bank rocking. And this is something that I guess the boys sparked up. Like they're at their best where they just pass the baton and then they capitalize with a home run. But my thing is this: they sense the energy in Citizens Bank. It's no secret Philly fans wear their hearts on their sleeve, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the highs are going to be nuts, you're going to be crazy. The anticipation's going to be nuts. When you're rocking, you are rocking. The bells are ringing. Everyone's going crazy. But when it was quiet as fuck.
Yeah.
And then that puts a guy like Harper and Schwarber, especially because they are leaders on this team and they can go yard. I don't think Schwarber's necessarily looking to hit home runs. So parts of me think that Harper is at times. And at least he's just putting vicious swings on the ball. I think, they're looking to try to, in one swing of the bat, get the stadium rocking again. I think they live for this shit. They love it, but I don't think that's the right approach. And maybe I'm wrong. But I think that, when you wear your heart on your sleeve and when it's quiet, it can be really quiet. You can kind of sense how fucking pissed off and depressed everyone is when shit isn't going their way. And then it bleeds onto the players feed off of any energy. They're going to feed off the highs. They're going to feed off the lows. And I think when they feed off the lows, then that's not the best way of saying it, but when they're sensing these lows, then they're trying to change that narrative in one swing of the bat, and then they look like jackasses because everyone in the top three spots in the lineup had a strikeout, and I think Harper and Schwarber might have had two.
Yeah, be prepared if they look like shit tonight, they're going to get booed out of Citizens Bank.
I think you gotta think small so big things happen. I think they're trying to think big and nothing's happening. Think small and big things can happen. Just be past the baton and let the big stuff happen. But listen, they have to win tonight. It's almost a must-win situation, and then you go to Chavez. Ravine split the series in Chavez. If they split the series tonight, if they win, which they really have to do, but if they win, that's on par as to what I mean. If you thought that they were going to sweep the Dodgers the first two games, that's a tall fucking ask.
Yeah, they need to take one in both. If you're looking at it like two different series, they need to take one in both.
Yeah, you got to split at home, split on the road. You got one back at home. So that's It's not you can do it. I don't think Rob did anything that detrimental, in my opinion. If you want to crucify him for bringing Strom over Ranger, maybe, but whatever. We'll just really quick over Detroit, Seattle. We said everything we had to say. I mean, everyone knows the Yankees and the Dodgers and Phillies are the big fucking heavy hitters. So this is the late night bullshit on the West Coast in Seattle. I'm praying that it's not gonna be a Seattle Starbucks Tim Hortons series, little coffee battle of the coffee fucking cups. But because I want Detroit and the Yankees, I think if the Yankees, we obviously want the Yankees, and then Detroit would be the easier matchup for them. But Detroit looked like a real deal in Game 1. Big win for Detroit. Troy Melton starting Game 1. Who's Troy Melton? No one fucking knows, but. Game 1 started 4 innings, 1 earned. He looked good. Brian Wu with a right pectoral inflammation. He was left off the ALDS roster. Detroit won that game in 11 innings, 3-2 game. Kerry Carpenter, 2-run homer in the 5th, put Detroit on the board, gave him the lead. So good for you, Kerry Carpenter. And then they held on to win. And then they were in the best shape because, yes, they were on the road, but they can take Game 1 like that. And then they had Skubal for Game 2, and Skubal versus Castillo was everything it was made out to be. I thought they could win Skubal's game and then go up and then go home. They were in really good shape, Detroit.
Yeah.
Sadly, that wasn't the case. Unless you're a Mariners fan, then you're happy it's not the case. Jorge Polanco had a great fucking game. Skubal, 7 innings, 2 earned, 9 Ks. Castillo has good numbers against Detroit, and he showed everybody why. But Skubal pitched well. He only gave up those 2 runs. Both of them were solo shots from Jorge Polanco. So good for you, Jorge. He had a little bit of a day there from the right side. And then Tiger scored 2 in the 8th to tie it. Torkelson, he's been having a little series or a little postseason. Seattle gets one back in the bottom of the 8th off of Finnegan to go up 3-2. They would win by that score. J-Rod and Cal Raleigh back-to-back doubles is what put them over the edge. So, hey, listen, their stars are starring. At least someone's stars are starring, huh? Someone's got it. Castillo looked pretty good. Munoz gets a save, and he pitched 2 innings game 1 and then got a save. So those are – and then actually I'll say this last thing. Seattle first playoff win since 0-1. The catcher on that team was Dan Wilson, who's their current manager. So they go to Detroit for 2 starting Tuesday. Here's the thing with this series is their stars are starring, and you're seeing how big of a role Munoz is. Obviously, he's the most reliable reliever. He's 3 innings in 2 days, 1 being a save. Huge stuff there. So they're obviously going to turn to Castillo, one of the best closers in baseball. And fucking J-Rod looks fantastic. Cal, good. I mean, and not like Cal's doing anything that Judge isn't in this postseason. Like, Judge is getting hit. Cal hasn't really hit a home run, but he had a double, and it like all these. But you see how it's different with Cal because there's guys hitting around him, and J-Rod.
Exactly.
So that's the difference there.
J-Rod's been incredible this series also, too. Like, and talk about a guy getting better when the lights are brightest. That's J-Rod for you. I love watching Julio Rodriguez play baseball. He's one of my favorite players that outside of the Phillies. So to see him coming up big nowadays, to see him in his, I think this is his first postseason. Yeah, right?
They might have went in like 21 or 22.
Maybe, but love seeing it. But like you said, the stars of these teams are starring, and that's when baseball's most fun to watch. When the guys who are actually doing well are doing well, even on the Tiger side of things. School didn't pitch bad. He just made 2 mistakes, and they capitalized, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of these. The first game, Cal and J-Rod both had 3 hits. In the second game, they're both 1 for 4, but it was that little
When
rally. When it mattered. So, and J-Rod's hitting third on this team. Cal's in the 2-hole. So yeah, it looks good. I mean, they look good, and I don't even know who the fuck else they got. I don't know. I haven't heard Suarez's name. Like, they're not scoring a lot of runs. These both 2-3-2 games. Game 1 was 3-2. Game 2 was 3-2, and
good baseball though, all around. Like good baseball.
Good baseball. Low scoring affairs in these first 2 games of this to Seattle. But listen, when the stars have to come up big, they have been. J-Rod's been a ripping machine, and Cal again. Like, Judge gets a lot of shit for being on the Yankees, and they're losing, but they're losing ugly. But he's getting knocks. Cal had a 3-hit day, and then he had a double that and ultimately scored the game-winning run. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like he's hitting fucking home runs. You know what I mean? So it's like you're winning, and at least you won that game, and it looks different. It looks different.
This is a case of 2 teams playing with house money, man. Tigers were not expected to do anything coming in as a 6th seed, and the Mariners, this is their first time having a good team in a long time. So there's both not a whole lot of expectations out of these guys, and this is breeding some really good baseball.
It is.
I know a lot of people probably aren't tuning into it because it's on the West Coast, but they should, because it's gonna be good baseball all around.
These are interesting cases because, yes, I don't know what the expectations were, but I also don't know how big their windows are.
Yeah.
So they got to do something here. And listen, every team I wanted to win yesterday lost. Any team I wanted to win the weekend period, I lost, I think. So yeah, I mean, does this change anything? We'll change like we won't go back on our predictions, but does this seeing what we see now? We both had the Yankees coming out. Do we still think that?
Probably not. They got a super tall task, but I don't think they roll over tomorrow.
Okay.
I do think they make it a series. I think they get at least 1.
We had
sorry,
go ahead.
And then I don't know, man. This Seattle-Detroit,
so we had Seattle out of this one. Do
we
still have it? Because Detroit looks a lot better than we expected. And
I'm probably
Cleveland in this game.
I'm probably still gonna roll with Seattle, in all honesty, because like if the Tigers could have got it done with Scooble, I think it would be a much different. But now the Tigers have to win 2 with a more than lackluster rest of their starting pitching. So and I think the Mariners starting pitching is definitely better. Yeah. And that's just the Mariners lineup is more potent than the Tigers, but Tigers aren't going to make it easy, man. I think this goes to 5 no matter what.
And if it does, you'll see Scooble for game 5, which would be the difference.
Which would be awesome. That'd be fucking insane.
What do we have? We want the Phils tonight, and if they win tonight, split at Chavez, come back home and win it.
Yeah, there's still parts of me that believe, man.
To me, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I hope. One can only hope, dude.
But it's one at a time. It's got to start tonight. And then what was the other game? The Cubs and Brewers. I think we both had well, I think I had the Padres coming out of this series. They haven't.
You did. I had the Brewers.
I had the Brewers, and you stick with that.
Yeah, but I don't think the Cubs are going to roll over either. We talked about a lot of these
series. The Cubs could be in a good shape. They're similar to the Phils. If they win tonight, they get 2 at home.
Exactly. So I don't think they're in a completely bad spot. I get that they didn't look great in the first. It's the first game. The Brewers are the best team in baseball. The Cubs are going to bounce back. I think so.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Go Phils fucking tonight. It's almost a must-win situation.
It is. It's not almost. It is a must-win situation.
Yeah. Well, it's not like a must-win and you go home, but it's a must-win or you're fucked.
Yeah.
So don't be fucked because the Yankees are fucked, and then you see what happens. It's not a good spot to be in. I can't even articulate. I'm more like defeated than you said. You were defeated. It's only been one, dude. I got fucking shit on twice.
Yeah.
If you got shit on again, dude, holy shit. Then we'll see.
We'll
see you Wednesday. We'll see you Wednesday, and neither one of our teams will be in. They'll both be on. Actually, the Yankees could be eliminated by Wednesday, and then the Phillies could be on the verge. Because what if on the at this rate that we're going, everyone's just going to continue to lose. So maybe we should just root for the opposite fucking teams. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I should place a fat bet on the Dodgers tonight.
Well, on that note, let's go Phils. Bank will be rocking. We talk shit now, but you know what? Come game day or come game time, and even tomorrow with the Bombers, rode on the bump, everyone's going to like it. And we have big expectations. And they know a lot about Bieber. They've beat up on Bieber plenty of times in Cleveland. Actually, they don't hit good pitching. Bieber probably shuts them the fuck down. I don't know.